You're listening to U Radio. Let your voice be heard. My name is Ryan Funk, here on U Talk, a program dedicated to diversity, highlighting native-born and new Canadians' cultures and experiences. Music has always been a part of bilingual singer-songwriter Kelly Bado's life. She combines her African heritage, la chanson française, and American gospel to create a unique sound. Coming from West Africa, she never expected her style would come across as interesting here in Canada.
I was born in Côte d'Ivoire many years ago, I won't say. My family lives there. My parents, my sisters came with me when I came to Canada in December 2007. And we came to originally to study. So I came and I went to the St. Boniface University. And we are French. That's our first language. And I was always a singer, like in the sense that not a solo singer, but I was a choir person. I was in different choirs back home. That's where I learned to sing. And my mom also was in choir. So I guess she felt natural to push me in that direction. And I started singing and learning. Music would always be a part of me, but then I was wondering if I could do more with it, like what could happen out of it. And I was encouraged by people to try. So I started attending a little coffee shop where there was, you can share music, a poem, whatever you like. So I shared a song or two. And then someone approached me, was the leader of the organization Sans, which is the organization that chaperones or supports Francophone artists in Manitoba. And he said, I think you should apply for this contest that we have. And by the time I was so shy, I said, I don't know that I can sing. It was already a challenge for me to sing in front of 5 people that was sitting there. He said, no, you should still try. And so I tried. And from that point, winning that contest just launched a bunch of I guess a trajectory to where I am now. So I ended up in a short amount of time going to Quebec, and I felt like everything was so fast because I was new to Canada, sort of. And I was just trying to get a sense of the music community and who are the people. So I felt like I wasn't established properly yet, but at the same time, I was happy to get to know the musical community this way because I met a lot of people. I had lots of workshops because every contest was offering us workshops. So I got trained at the same time how to write better songs, and I sort of worked on my first ever songs with these contests. So I got a good feedback, and so it was a really like a big learning process. And then after that, I got a chance to be in a band where I was backup singer, and it was they called the Seaweed Band. Funny name, but anyway, it's a big band. I think they're still together. It's a band. The member, the owner, the founder, it was a member of our First Nation community. So it was such an honor because I got to learn. I went with them tour. There was a big band. So for me, it was the first experience like that touring. And we went in some reserves. We went in like different stages. So all that happened around the same time. So it was such a big learning experience for me.
It really sounded like a domino effect where all the pieces just kept falling into place to get you to where you are. Do you think your background has been a major component to your musical process, as well as, just music in general? Can there be music without culture or influence from your past?
I think it's possible to do your music without it if you don't want it. to transpire. Like if you want to really do something completely different, then you could, right? But me personally, uh I'm basing it on my message and what I'm trying to accomplish. So for me, it made sense to keep my culture, to keep that, because that's where I learned. Like if let's say I wasn't a singer back home, maybe it would have been I would have been different today. If I started music here altogether, like singing and all, maybe I wouldn't have that influence that much. But
Hmm.
because I grew up in this and my mother was singing, it was almost impossible to not have it reflect in my style. So uh, even back home, I was still listening to singers like Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston and Celine Dion. So in West Africa, we still had that influence, right? Like we were
Hmm.
listening to foreign music, and they were big there back home. It was on top of having our own music there, of course, we had like these influences, so we knew. And vocally, I was always attracted to their ability. So that's what I was using to train myself in American gospel as well. And there was also a little bit of European music, um, French music, music from France that I was listening to. So everything sort of became a mashup of all. But I wanted to have that distinct African sound. And I felt like even if I'm gonna sing like, I don't know, Celine Dion or Mariah Carey or whatever, vocally, I still wanna have something from my culture. And for me, that was the African sound, meaning African instruments, like percussions,
Hmm.
djembe. I played myself djembe a little bit back home. So balafon. I don't know if in English it's the same name, but in French it's called balafon. It's like it looks like a piano, but uh, it's not. Maybe it's similar to a xylophone. I don't know.
Maybe I'd
That
have
would, that,
to look it up.
that
Oh
would
yeah,
give a
kind of
visual.
like yeah, it looks kind of like it.
It looks like it, and the kora and all kinds of instrument from my home. So I always incorporate that in what I do, and I felt like that's a way to represent who I am. And I think the big message that I had, because I talked about it all depend on what's your message, right? The style you're
Hmm.
gonna take. And my message for me was to be able to embrace where I am for sure, but to always represent my culture, because I felt like Africa wasn't always well presented. When I came here, it was a little bit, I was a little bit disappointed of the image that was shown, in the sense that it was the only portrait
Hmm.
that was given, and it was malnutrition, it was war, it was poverty, it was abandoned kids and dirt, and there was like it's a reality in every country. I'm sure, everywhere you go, there is the things that we want to improve. There is difficult things, there is families that are broken, there is all that.
Hmm.
But there is also the side of the culture, the beauty, the people, the story, and none of that was shown here. um, and I felt a bit sad, and I felt compelled to try to change that if I
Hmm.
can with my music.
So let's move on to your new album that you recently released. How about tell me a little bit about that and what inspired you to make it and kind of the message in that one?
This new album, it's called Hater, and it's a it's like, if you want phase two of the first, I guess a mini album. The first EP that I did was with 6 songs. So it wasn't completely an album, but people use it as an introduction in the industry. That's what I was told. If you wanna, see how people react to you, your music, you just do a small sample and see how it goes. So I feel like the second album is building on the first, because the first was uh my first experience here, and I was talking about back home. I was talking about where I came from and my transition. So it was like in between. That's what I called it, entre deux.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is called Éther. And I felt like I can continue to build on where I come from, because I have a song in the album that's a song talking about Africa again. And I think there'll always be that. And then there's that African sound again. It comes. We have a richness of different sounds and instrument that we are using in this album. In the first album, I didn't have enough money to get all the instruments I wanted. So in this one, I was able to go a step further. So the inspiration behind it um, was, I would say, a song that unifies, an album that unifies, because the main song is talking about Earth, so planet Terre,
Mm-hmm.
and how we should take care of it. But I think it goes beyond that. It's talking about the fact that we live on the planet, and we are all connected because of that. Even if we are from different countries, different skin colors, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
different looks, we are together on the same one planet. And that's what connects us. That's what, if we take care of the planet, then in a way we are taking care of each other. And that was the 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 main element that helped me build the album.
So in your success, you're fine. You're building this music career. How do you stay connected? I mean, you've mentioned it a little bit about staying connected with your culture, but how do you stay connected to your roots, where you came from, your family, friends, as you're going through this success? You're releasing music.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. You keep saying success. Thank you. I don't know even if I can say it is. I guess it is a success, because it depends how you define it. It is a success for me. You're right, in the sense that if I compare to where I started,
Mm-hmm.
I accomplished a lot. So I keep in touch with my family. We network is difficult because back home it's not as efficient. So it's sometimes we call each other, with the and some the apps. You have WhatsApp, you have different
Yeah.
apps there, Viber. So I call my mom every week, and then we see each other like that online. And my family, my brother,
I mean, the time zone does probably doesn't help either.
it doesn't help. There's like 6 hours, so sometimes she calls, but I'm working, or I call, she's sleeping, they're
Mm-hmm.
sleeping over there. But I really try to keep in touch, and um, I cannot go there and visit every year. That's sad, because it's just too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we keep in touch like that, calling each other, and also friends. We have a community here of people, newcomers, and
Mm-hmm.
friends, and we keep in touch. We celebrate our independence. This year we couldn't do that, unfortunately, but every year we try really to gather and celebrate, our country, and things like that.
Ah, that's amazing. Is there anything else that you would like to share, or a story you'd like to share at the moment?
Well, I would like to thank, the community, the Francophone community here, for the support, because I wouldn't be where I am without the support of the community. It's because people want to hear you, they want to hear your music, what you have to say, that you sort of it carries you, right? Like it, because you have all these voices and all these um, um, people wanting to know you and what you have to say, that really supports you. So I wanted to thank the community for that, and I wanted to thank the sponsors for the album, the government of Canada, Musique Action, and
Mhm.
Manitoba Film and Music for the support, and my family, and everybody's gonna be listening to this. Just um, a big message of hope, and keep um, your head up high. I know it's very hard, but
Mhm.
I know that we are stronger than these challenges, and we're gonna get through it. And we're gonna be in the concert room again. We're gonna, you know, be able to go in a restaurant and not worry about whether or not the next person is 10 feet, 2 feet away and stuff like that. We're gonna be able to get through it. So I just wanted to encourage everybody, and immigrants who are coming also newly to Canada. And this time, I don't know if anybody is able to come, but if there is, I just really give them a big virtual hug, and to hold on, and we'll be able to meet again, and
Yeah.
life as it was, if not better.
Kelly was honored to perform on Parliament Hill as part of Canada's 150th celebrations and was a favorite in Quebec's The Voice show, winning the People's Choice Award. Her new album, Hey Terre, can be found on her website, kellybado.com, where people can reach out to her if they have any questions via email. If you have any stories you'd like us to share or communities we should highlight, leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.